I'm really excited about this interview today. Interviewing a dear friend of mine. In fact, I used to be his youth pastor 25 years ago, and that's amazing because he's only 21. But anyway, this is Lane Jones, and Lane is a school teacher, and his wife is also a school teacher, and his mom and dad were school teachers. They were at colleges over in Mississippi. Great teachers, and we want to welcome you so much today. And Lane, can you tell us a little bit about your experience in teaching? And I just want to say he just got his 2nd degree black belt in karate, and which I guess you have to take if you're going to be a school teacher. No,
you got to know how to do that.
But you might tell us just a little bit about your background in teaching, and also maybe some about your family. I mean, you've got a beautiful family.
Yes, my wife is extremely beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Well, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. I've been married for 11 years, and I've got a wonderful wife, Trina, and then we've got 2 daughters.
Yes.
And
Beautiful
one is 10,
girls.
that's Tori, and then one is 7, that's Kylie, and I call them Angel's Food Cake and Devil's Food Cake. You know, but they're awesome girls, and we just are just happy as we can be together, and I feel blessed by God to have them in my lives.
Yes.
And especially my relationship with my wife, because raising kids today is tough, and then having a partner like her who takes care of a lot of things before Dad even has a chance to get the belt off. But it's nice having that kind of support. So I'm blessed with that. And like you said, I've been a school teacher for a long time, and then I also teach Taekwondo at a local school, here in Mobile. That's real enjoyable. And a lot of the kids that I have in class also come to the Taekwondo school.
Yes.
So,
I know we did a huge event sharing Jesus with hundreds of young people, and you brought all those kids over to demonstrate Taekwondo, karate, and to share the Lord. That was a wonderful experience, seeing all those kids, and you were well known for your teaching, but also your stand for Jesus Christ. I might also add that his wife is the one that helped Francine and me to get started with the Empower Channel. If it hadn't been for her, this wouldn't even been happening. And she keeps saying, no, but that's the truth, because as a great teacher, she took away a lot of our fears and calmed us and said, y'all can do this, you can do this. And so y'all are such a family in our lives. And
she's a very, very, very talented lady. And the wonderful thing is, my whole family is filled with teachers. Not just my wife, but like you said, both my parents. And that was a big influence on how I got into the teaching field, because I remember entering that first year of college going, what do you want to do? I don't know. My dad said, hey, take a lot of math classes, math and science, because you can do anything with math and science, Yes. And then it started out that the local church that I attended needed a Sunday school teacher for 5th grade. I said, well, they asked me, I'll teach Sunday school. And I taught Sunday school, and then I started thinking, I like this. I like interacting with kids and teaching them things they don't know. And then that's kind of backfired on me, because now I teach 8th grade and they know more than I do. So, they really do. That's not a joke. That kind of got me thinking about the teaching field. Was teaching that Sunday school class, and then all the influence of my parents. And I've got uncles and aunts and all kinds of people in the teaching field. But then I was like, well, what am I going to teach? And because my dad had pushed math, I had so much math in my background, I was like, well, it's just a perfect fit to just go on into the math,
Yes.
So that's basically how I ended up, where I am. And I'm fortunate because I have been able to teach in all kinds of environments. I've been in inner city schools and loved it. I've taught in high schools, middle schools in rural areas, so I've seen the whole spectrum.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. one thing that's really thrilled me is every year there's such excitement in both of y'all about the coming year and about the influence
Right.
that you're going to have over so many young people who desperately need it. And I'm really excited about the interviews that we're going to have about schools and impacting our schools for Jesus Christ. And I love the way you put it. How is it that you've said to me about schools being the line of defense?
Last line of defense.
The last line of defense.
Well, me and my wife both, we take our teaching job very, very, very seriously. And I think some of that is we understand the responsibility that we have, but also because my parents took it seriously, and they understood the responsibility. And I believe that it's my job to prepare students to go on, and because they were in my classroom, their lives are richer. But that does not just mean that they know math.
Right. Right.
My concern for them goes way beyond that. In fact, math may be the least on the list. My concern is that they learn math, that they learn how to think, because you've got to think logically through life all the time. I may walk out of this room right now and go see that I've got a flat tire on my truck, and I've got to think, what do I need to do first? What do I need to do second? What do I need to do third to take care of this situation? So I want our students to be thinkers, and most importantly, I want them to have high character. I want them to learn high character, good moral character, and be strong people. And in fact, sometimes I kind of poll the kids and I go, well, let's do a little test if you're a strong person or a weak person. And I'll say, now don't answer this out loud, but just think to yourself. Have you ever gotten in trouble in any situation with a parent, a teacher, anybody, and you've asked and you've used this as an excuse to that person that was getting on to you? Well, I wasn't the only one. And I'll go and think about that. Think about what you just said, if you've ever said that. And they'll think about it, and I'll go saying, well, I wasn't the only one. What are you really saying? You're saying, I can't behave unless everybody else does. Well, that makes you a weak person. My desire is that you leave me and you're a strong person in what you believe, and you're going to stand up for what you believe. And it may not be the same thing that I believe, but you know what you believe, and you have reasons you believe it, and you're going to stand for it. And that's what I respect. So teaching math is one of the things that I consider my responsibility in my classroom, but there's a list of things there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're looking forward. I have to ask you about this because I think this is incredible. When you first told me, I was like, wow. You announce the first day of class. You tell all of them. You tell them who you are, but then you tell the whole class that you're a Christian.
Right.
And I think that's incredible. I wish all teachers would do that love Jesus. That's very empowering. What's the response that you get from that?
Well, let me tell you the response.